on, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Green Beat. So, as an educator, whenever students see me carrying around my orchestral bag or my concert mallet bag, I always get this question.
Hey, Prof, what you got in the bag?
So today I figured I'd open up my stick bag and actually take everything out so everyone can see what is in my stick bag, and then at the end of the video I'll make sure I talk about some of the things that you need as a student, or some of the things that you should tell your students if you're a band director or a beginner percussion instructor. Some of the things you should tell your students to order or purchase whenever they get their first mallet bags. So let's dive right in. So just a little bit about this mallet bag. This is a Humenberg Galaxy mallet bag. I know it's red, and I was fortunate enough to find red on eBay when I was looking for one of these, because at first I had this huge Vic Firth bag. Shout out to Vic Firth. But I had this huge Vic Firth bag that really hurt my shoulder. So when I got to grad school, I saw a lot of people had these Humenberg bags, and I was like, hey, I want one of those. But everybody has black. So I got lucky and I found a couple of these in red. And actually, when I bought them, I believe they had maybe 2 left. So sorry, you kind of got to go with black. I'm exclusive, and it's even more special to me because red is my favorite color, even though I kind of wear a lot of blue. Go Big Blue. All right, so this bag has 2 compartments. It has one on the top and one here. So first we will open up the top to see what all I keep in here. So first things first, I have my triangle. This is a Sabian 6-inch triangle that I got from PASIC last year, actually, and it sounds amazing. So I just like to keep that right there just in case I ever need a triangle. I have a lanyard for my earphones that actually broke off. Those are somewhere else. I have a Yamaha timpani key just in case I need to do anything with Yamaha or Ludwig timpani. Let's see, what else is in here? I have a Pearl timpani key because we have all Adams timpani. Well, it's an Adams timpani key, of course. But we have all Adams timpani here at the school, and a set of 2 Ludwig timpani. So this Adams key really comes in handy. What else is in here? And of course, a drum key. You can't play drums if you don't have a key. So this is actually a Remo magnetic key that I got from one of the master classes I went to. I'll move these over here, move those out the way. I think this is everything. I normally keep an egg shaker in here, but I think I gave it out at my last master class to a 3rd grader. So, you know, why not encourage the kids? Cool. So let's open this up. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. So, as you can see, I have a lot of stuff. I'll just lean that. There we go. I have a whole lot of stuff, and we'll go through this. This bag honestly has, fortunately is a better word, has 4 different compartments. So I can put, although my sticks look mashed together, they're actually separated into 4 different categories. So I like to have things in order for the most part. So it's divided into drumsticks, xylophone/bell mallets, timpani mallets, of course, and then marimba mallets. And sometimes I'll put my vibe mallets in there, but I'm not playing any vibes at the moment, so I took them out because, as you can see, I don't have that much space. But anywho, sorry, brain fart. Anyway, so let's dive right in. So we'll start with the timpani category just because it's one of my favorite categories. So here, like I did in the last video, these are the Artifact Legato Merlin timpani mallets with the Sherpa covering. Next are my JG Percussion. These are 7s. The David Herbert series, these are the 7s. These are a large cartwheel, well, kind of medium large cartwheel mallet over a wood core. So these are my power mallets. So if I'm playing something that's like fortissimo and I got like bell tones, like the end of maybe like the end of Pines of Rome, I'll probably use these because it's really loud and I got half notes the whole way, so I can really just lay into it. So those are my power mallets. I get a lot of sound out of those. Next, these are my David Herbert ones. So when I first got into the timpani mallet game, I really started with JG Percussion. So I bought 3 or 4 sets from him. Well, not sets, 3 or 4 pairs over time from him. So these are the ones. I had these custom wrapped because my mallets rotate. My hands sweat a lot. So my mallets rotate in my hands, and I don't want to play on the seam. So he was kind enough to wrap these in green billiard felt, and they don't take away from the tone as much. These are more my articulate mallets. If I'm playing something with a lot of rhythms in it, I'm going to use these or something like these. So in that same vein, I have my 2 David Herbert. Of course, I have probably 2 or 3 more pairs of Herberts in here. But these are my 2 G's, 2 generals. And the G is actually not for general. The G is for German. So normally in the David Herbert set, the 2, at least it was before, or about a while ago. Anyway, normally it was an American felt, I believe. The 2 was an American felt mallet, but I saw an option for a German felt. So that's basically what this is. This is a general mallet, cartwheel style mallet with a German felt wrap over it. And as you can tell, these have been played with a lot because, of course, they're general mallets. So I use these for my general playing a lot of times. Let's see. Next, I believe these are the 4s. No, these are the 5s. So these are the 5s. I use these a lot for not necessarily soft playing, but like medium playing. Like these are really good roller mallets. These are good, kind of general almost. They're not as articulate as the 2s, but they aren't terribly soft to where you would lose articulation if you had random 16th notes in a roll passage. Let's see, what else is next? These are the 4s. Ironically or weirdly enough, these are kind of bigger than my 5s. So I use these a lot for rolls. These sound amazing on rolls, especially at soft volumes or even loud volumes. These sound amazing. What's next? I have these. These are some of my newer mallets. So these are from the Javon Gilliam series. These are, I'm not sure if, no, this is not the bus driver. The bus driver's yellow. I forgot. I think this is the OG. These are some softer mallets on black German felt. And I saw him come out with some mallets. I was like, hey, it's Javon. And black guy playing black mallets with a black German felt. I want to try them. These actually sound really good. The handles are a little thin for my taste, but they still sound good nevertheless. So, finishing up the timpani category, these are some more JGs. I think I won these at a masterclass. These are from his American series. This is the 1 from the American series, and it is an American felt over a wood core. And just like these ones, I would use these for more articulate stuff. So these really help with some rhythmic clarity. And lastly, but not least, of course, I have my wooden mallets. These are Vic Firth T5 wooden mallets. Whenever I need a passage with that says, because it will particularly say wooden mallets, I will pull these bad boys out and they never disappoint. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And by the way, by no means am I endorsing any particular stick company. These are just some of the things that I've gathered over my years of study. So I'm not going to push a brand on you. Ultimately, when you buy mallets, just make sure they sound good. So next, we'll go to the xylophone/bell category. So first things first, Becker Blues. You can never go wrong with a Becker Blue, at least starting with one. I use these for general xylophone playing. You can kind of use them for bell playing, but they're not really that hard to play on certain bell kits, especially if you have like the traditional box Glock. You might find these to be a little too soft for Glock playing, but these are amazing as a starting point on xylophone. Let's see, next some Vic Firth M141s. I think these were actually, yep, white tape. Put that on there in 2011. That white tape is almost 10 years old. Goodness. But I use these normally on Glock if I'm not going to use something, or I might use these, yeah, on Glock. These are my first Glock mallets. So I normally use these when I'm playing Glock. This is a really good starting place before you branch out to something else, to something more specialized. So again, just like the Becker Blues, you can never really go wrong with these, especially as a starting point. Next, grab these. These are actually some of my newer xylophone mallets. I won these at PASIC last year. Shout out to Fear Percussion. I actually entered a raffle for the George Hamilton Greens. That's what these are. These are the George Hamilton Greens signature xylophone mallets by Freer. I was really excited when I got that call that I had won the raffle, and I could not wait to use these. Honestly, because I was playing a rag piece for an audition that I was doing, so I was just excited to get these. So these sound good. These are a little harder than the Becker Blues. They're not terribly hard, but they sound amazing on the xylophone. But those are kind of more expensive. So if you're just starting out, I wouldn't suggest jumping straight to Freer. That's more of a professional line of instruments. Nothing against Mallotech or Vic Firth or anybody. But Freer can be a little bit more pricey. So moving on. So I have a couple pairs of Innovative mallets. These are the CLX2s from the Innovative Chris Lamb series. These actually are some softer mallets. They sound really good though. I don't necessarily have a particular application that I would use these off the top of my head, but they sound really good in my opinion. They work well on maybe some quieter stuff because they're not as hard as the ones I'm going to show you next. They're not as hard, but they still give you like a little bit of warmth on the xylophone. So maybe like if you're playing something like in the middle of the range, not terribly at the end of the range because they're not terribly bright mallets, but they do produce a very nice tone. So as mentioned, these are the CLX6s from that same Chris Lamb series. These are hard. So these are very, very bright mallets. If you're playing with like a full ensemble, these will definitely cut. If you're playing solo stuff or if you're playing with an ensemble, these are cut. These sound great either way. They are really bright, but I do like them because, again, they're multifunctional, in my opinion. Moving on, I have some Innovative OS7s. Honestly, I bought these because I've just always wanted some acrylic mallets. They're really cute. That's kind of weird to say about them, about a Glock mallet. But anyway, just look at them. Look at the little ball. I've honestly always wanted some acrylic mallets, and they actually sound really good on Glock. I think I used these for the Magic Flute when I was practicing it for an audition, or I think I might have used these for Sleeping Beauty. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, these sound really good. They're really kind of warm mallets. Next, these are some Dragonfly mallets. Dragonfly is another one of the companies that is not one of the big name companies that you normally hear about. But they make really good stuff at inexpensive prices. This is one of their, I can't remember which series they are. And these actually have some wear and tear on them. I forgot what I was playing. I think it might have been Sorcerer's Apprentice on that last stretch. But anyway, these my general go-to mallets. If I can't find my Vic First, or if I don't want to use my Vic First, I'm normally gonna go to these. These are on carbon fiber handles, and they have like a rubber grip on them, and they flex. So if I'm playing something really, really fast, it has a natural rebound because of the carbon fiber handle. So that is always nice. These are of the same series, Dragonfly as well. They just actually took like some rubber tubing and put it over the ball, and it gives it more of a warm sound, more of a Celeste-like sound. Let's see, of course I have the classic Vic Firth brass mallets. You cannot be in a wind ensemble setting, or you cannot just have a set of Glock mallets without having brass mallets, especially if you are in like a high school or collegiate situation where your conductor likes brass mallets. So these are always, now I'm not saying that these are always the go-tos, but these are always good to have, just in case like you need that extra brightness and that extra weight on the Glock. And lastly are some of my favorites. Why? Because they're red, and you know, as mentioned, red is my favorite color. But these are some Dragonfly mallets. I believe these are the harder Magic Flute mallets. Like, that's actually the name of them. And like the acrylic ones, they sound really good when you play the Magic. When I was practicing the Magic Flute, actually when I played the Magic Flute, they sounded really good. And lastly, in this category, so this bag has like some pockets, and these don't necessarily go with the Glock Xylo category, but because the Glock and Xylo mallets were in the compartment with the pockets, I just threw these in there. So these are my triangle beaters. These are the Stessel style beaters. So I'm going to clear this up really quickly because I see this a lot of times. You play with the long end. Well, you hold it with the long end, and you actually play with the brass, bronze, whatever color this turns out to be on camera, end. You play with this end, not the other way around. Play with this end. So I have, I believe these may be Sabian, or I don't know. I saw them on Steve Weiss, and they were fairly inexpensive. So I was like, I want those because I needed some beaters for my new triangle. So that's that. Next, we're going to go to the snare stick category. Move all of these to the side. I'm going to hate putting all this back up. Cool. So I'll just kind of dump these out. So these, some of my first sticks. These are Vic Firth, Ted Eckat's. I hope I didn't butcher your name. Sorry if I did. These are the Ted Eckcat series from Vic Firth concert snare drumsticks. I love these. Now, these are my go-tos. If I'm playing some snare drum, if I'm teaching a lesson and we're working on snare drum and I need to show the student something, I will always, so much so that I don't even think about it at this point, I'll always pull these out because they just, not only do they sound good, they feel great. These are actually wrapped because I played a piece where I had to click the rim a lot with the sticks, and I didn't want to mess them up, so I just put some protective tape on them because these are my babies. Yeah, those are my go-tos. Next, I have a couple of pairs of these, and of course you can never go wrong with these. These are the Vic Firth, all of them. These are the Vic Firth SD1 Generals. Crazy enough, I actually got introduced to these. I was just buying some random sticks at Guitar Center, and I played drum set with these, and they felt amazing on drum set. I'm quite sure you're not supposed to use them on drum set because they broke. Granted, my technique wasn't there, but you know. Anywho, that's how I kind of got introduced to these, but these sound really good. So if you're a student and you're looking for some inexpensive snare drum sticks for concert band, I would highly suggest the Vic Firth SD1 Generals if you don't go with the Tim Jennis or the Ted Eckats that look like these. I would highly suggest the SD1 Generals. These feel amazing. They sound great, and they last a long time, as you can see. I've actually played drum set now that my technique is a little different, and that's why these are so chewed up, and they've lasted a long time. So I always try to keep a couple of them on hand. Next, these are some timbali sticks that I was using for a piece that I really just never took out. I don't hardly play timbalis like that, but I just never took them out. So those are those. These are some drum set sticks that one of my former students and friends had brought me because he works at Innovative, so he brought me some drumsticks. Um, yeah, these are the Legacy Series 5As, and I keep these in here not just because I like Innovative, but I keep these in here because I always want to keep some drum set sticks on me, even though this is like more my concert bag, and I have drum set bags somewhere else. I believe they're in my office, and I keep one in my truck. But still, if I'm on a gig and I have to play some drum set, it's always good to have actual drum set sticks. There is a difference, sound difference, weight difference, taper difference, bead difference. There's a difference between, and you know what? That might be a future episode, the difference between drum set and concert drumsticks. But we won't go too far into that right now. But anyway, there is definitely a difference. So I just like to keep drum set sticks. And plus, that's my first love. That's what I started on as a percussionist. That's what a lot of us start on, drum set. So I always want to keep those in there, keep those near. And lastly, these are my newer snare drum sticks. I just bought these maybe a year ago at PASIC. At PASIC, I think I racked up. So these are actually the Freer light orchestral snare drum sticks with they have a small bead on them, so you can get really clear soft rolls, with these. And the hornwood is a little heavier, but I like it because the stick is pretty even in my hands, and I have really good control of it. These, again, like the George Hamilton Greens, if you are just starting out, or if you're a band director with students who are just starting out, I would not necessarily suggest these. Now, I'm not knocking them, of course, but I would not suggest these because, again, these are more on the pricier side. It's more of a professional line of sticks and mallets and stuff. Cool. So last, but certainly not least, at least not anymore, are my marimba mallets. So first things first, these are my newer mallets. These are the Artifact Ignalium medium mallets. So I just got these. These sound amazing. They feel amazing. So shout out to Artifact for sending me, sending me my order, because I definitely pay for these. But shout out to Artifact for sending me these. So those sound amazing. These are medium. And so I guess I can talk about this now. So band directors, young students who are just looking for some mallets, or just trying out a new brand, I would always start with the mediums. This is my personal preference. I always like to start with the medium. That way, if it's too hard, it's a medium. So if it's a harder medium. When I say medium, I mean strictly medium, not medium hard, not medium soft, like medium, like middle of the way medium. That way, if that particular brand's medium is harder, now you got some medium hard mallets. Or if that particular brand's medium is softer, now you have medium soft mallets. Medium for me just allows me to see what that company's mallet sounds like. And this is my first set of Artifact marimba mallets. So I just kind of want to see what they sound and feel like. And so far, I have no complaints. Next are my Malletech Andy Harnsberger mallets. These are slightly graduated. I think I have these in the right order. So if you ever order these, the order goes yellow, blue, blue, blue tape, not blue mallet head. So I don't know if you can see it. There it is, yellow. Then you got blue, blue, and red. And and when he says slightly graduated, he means slightly graduated. You can tell the difference, but if you are inexperienced, you probably won't be able to hear it. But yeah, these are some good mallets. They're fairly light. I'm actually using these on a piece that I'm preparing to play, but they feel amazing and they actually sound really good. And last but not least are arguably the heaviest marimba mallets I've ever played with. I don't know how you do it, but these are the pious, the innovative pious mallets, the graduated mallets. Um, these are obviously, well, you can't mistake these. They are, they sound really great, especially when you playing like chorales. Um, if you're playing just like really lush marimba stuff, marimba literature, um, they sound amazing. Um, you have the black one, which is the softest one, the two reds, which are the middle, and the orange, which is the hardest one. And I actually got these in birch. All of my marimba mallets are birch mallets, on birch handles. Um, just for me, I don't like to retain it, flexes too much. So all of my marimba mallets are on birch handles. These are, I think, wrapped in alpaca yarn or something like that. They sound amazing though. Like they're heavy. When I say they're heavy, they are heavy. But they are gorgeous. Goodness, they are gorgeous. So if you did order some of these, they can be a little pricey. I think for the set, I paid maybe $70, $80 on Steve Weiss. So I mean, that's not terribly expensive, but at the same time, if you're looking for a graduated set of mallets, I'm sure there might be a cheaper option. But they sound amazing, but they're heavy. So, I keep saying that because I heard they're heavy. Then when I got them, I set up at the mirror. I was like, whoa, all right. So they take some getting used to, but once you get used to them, they sound amazing. Like they're freaking gorgeous. Cool. So that is, I think. Oh, of course, pencil. I always keep a pencil. There's probably like two more in here somewhere. I always keep a pencil in my mallet bag because if I'm ever in a lesson where I'm taking a lesson, or if I'm ever in a rehearsal, and so the conductor or my teacher tells me that I need to do something stylistically, I'll have a pencil. That way I can write it down. So please, 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 band directors, students, please always have a pencil. I know as percussionists, you normally hear the wind players get told to take out their pencil and mark this. That applies to you too. Have your pencil in rehearsal. It will save you the embarrassment of asking for a pencil, because that can be really embarrassing. For me, that's really embarrassing. Keep a pencil, and if you're going to keep one like this is the older style. I know we all use mechanical pencils. It's 2019. If you're going to have a regular pencil like this, a wooden pencil, I would say keep a pencil sharpener in one of the compartments in your mallet bag. I normally keep a mechanical pencil, or at least 2 or 3 of these wooden pencils, just in case the lead breaks. All right, so to wrap this episode up, I would like to talk about some things that if you're just starting to get into percussion, or if you're a band director and you need suggestions for students to order for their sticks and mallets and stuff. If you are sending kids to college, I do recommend a Humsenberg Galaxy bag. It is light, which is the reason I got it. And it has multiple handles. It has one right here, it has one right here, and it has a strap. And it has multiple compartments, plenty of space, plenty of compartments for, of course, drum keys, triangles, shakers, things like that. So I do suggest get one of those. I do like those a whole lot. But granted, of course, it's still going to be student's choice. Granted, you can't get red. I'm sorry, you can't get red. I got one of the last ones ever, and I love my red bag. No, I will not sell it. So first things first, snare drum sticks. You can never go wrong with some SD1 Generals. Granted, there will be times where you would want to use something else. It just depends on the texture of the music. But starting place, concert band, high school concert band, middle school concert band, and even when you first get to college before you branch off to different sounds to enhance your palette of colors and stuff, I would highly suggest some Vic Firth SD1s. You cannot go wrong with them. Second, always keep a pair of drum set sticks, whether it's Innovative, Vic Firth, Vader. any of the other drumstick companies. And if you want to spend a little bit more money, not terribly much, you could also get either the Tim Jennis or the Ted Cats versions of Vic Firth's concert sticks. They feel really good. Again, these are my go-tos. Marimba mallets. So I don't have any of my Vic Firth mallets out here, but anything, I would just start with medium before you go to like medium hard or soft or medium soft. I would just start with a medium from any drum company just to check it out. I think my first mallets were Vic Firth M114s, the Robert Van Sy series, and those have lasted me through the years. I started college in 2011 here at Tennessee State, and those have lasted me through the years. They still sound amazing, and they still get the job done. Those are really good general mallets. I also have a pair of the Vic Firth 212s. I think those are the Virtuoso series. Those sound amazing. I've gotten a lot of compliments on those mallets, even like from not just me playing, like people who I've let see them just play with them. Like, these sound really great because they actually do sound really great. If you're gonna go to graduated series, if you want the Piuses, I'm not gonna talk you out of it, but I would work my way up to them because, again, these are heavy. You could also go with the Nancy Zeltzmans for my college students who are going to, my first time entering college students, my freshmen, or even college students that are just looking to expand their collection. You can go with the Piuses, the Nancy Zeltzmans. Encore has actually a lot of stuff. I believe Innovative has and Vic Firth have. They all have graduated mallet sets. The Harnsbergers by Malletech would not be a bad choice. That way, if you ever needed just regular 4 mallets, like a regular set of 4 mallets, you could use these. If you ever want to have a slightly graduated set, you could also use these. Artifact, of course, you can use these. These are medium. So, again, if you're marimba mallets, I would start medium. Always start medium for me. That's just my opinion. Somebody else might tell you something different, and that doesn't mean I'm wrong, and that doesn't mean they're wrong. It's just their opinion. This is a highly opinionated business. Moving on, Xylo / Bell mallets. Where are they? The Vic Firth 141s are not a bad start. That's not a bad starting place for Bell mallets. And if you want something a little more bright and with a little more presence, you can go with the brass mallets. Just make sure your student's technique and college students, just make sure your technique is solid because you can dent bars with these if you are not careful. Xylo mallets, sorry. Becker Blues, you can't go wrong with these. Becker Blues, Ross Reds by Innovative. I think they're James Ross and they're red. That's why they're called Ross Reds, sorry. But these are actually called Becker Blues. The Ross Reds, those are good. Any Vic Firth mallet, because I believe I had the black ones. I do not remember the number, but the ball was a little big. They sounded really good though. I think I cracked those. That's why they're not pictured. Cool. Moving on. Timpani mallets. Again, these are all boutique mallets. I don't have any of my Vic Firth stuff out here. So, did I ever talk about these? Yeah, I don't have any of my boutique. I don't have any of my Vic Firth mallets out here. Sorry, I had a brain fart. It's been a long day. I don't have any of my Vic Firth stuff. Those were actually my first mallets, but these are all boutique mallets and made by smaller companies. Then the price point is going to be a little bit higher, except for the Javons, because they're made by Innovative, and Innovative is one of the more known and one of the larger companies. So, college students, entering college students, feel free to branch out, but I would start with a general, maybe like a Vic Firth Tim Jennis general mallet, or you can go with a Dolce Articulate. Honestly, the whole Tim Jennis series from Vic Firth is fairly inexpensive. So if you're just looking for a variety of colors, just to go ahead and knock it out. That way it'll last you a couple years before you branch out to other companies and try other things. Why not go ahead and get the Vic Firth Tim Jennis series? Innovative stuff is not bad at all. I have friends who play with Innovative. I just personally have never played with their stuff for a long period of time. I've never owned any of their mallets besides the Javons. And with the Javons, honestly, these sound really good. I'm not biased toward Vic Firth at all, but these sound really good. So Innovative, not bad. They have actually some really great stuff going on. And they also have some bamboo mallets. I think they're like BT1s, 2s, and maybe 3s. They have a bamboo shaft with a fairly large head on them. And they sound really good. So, band directors, college students, the best piece of advice I can tell you is try them out. If you're, especially before you go off to college, maybe like the fall semester before you go off to college, or band directors, maybe that fall in November, always go to PASIC. PASIC is where I try out every new thing, because everybody percussion, every percussion company, like ever, is going to be at PASIC. And they're going to have sticks and mallets that you can try. That's how I figure out what I want to buy and what kind of sounds that I kind of like. A lot of this stuff I got at PASIC, and a lot of the people whose names are on these sticks, you can meet at PASIC. Like Jason Ginter, who makes JG Percussion, met him at PASIC. I haven't ran into Javon. I can't run into George Hamilton Green because I don't think he's with us anymore. But yeah, like the people from Artifact, I've met them at PASIC. I've met the Vic Firth people at PASIC, and I actually kind of work closely with them, being that I'm at Tennessee State now and we're a Vic Firth school. So I've met Tom Freer at PASIC, I believe. So yeah. Experiment. There is no be-all, end-all mallet, so you may have to expand your horizons a little bit when it comes to this type of stuff. Because if there was a be-all, end-all mallet, whoever made it would be intensely rich, and I wouldn't have all of these mallets for it. But that wraps up another episode of the Green Beat. This episode may be a long one, but I hope it was super helpful for you all. So, until next time, I'll see you. Keep on playing.